What a lovely day it is outside. How is it going, everybody? Scott the MassNERDerer here with a long overdue episode of YogBox in Depth. This time we're covering Balkon's weapons mod. And you guys know I love to fight, so this one's an exciting one for me. It's going to be a 3-part series. Here in part 1, we're going to show you all the weapons and show you how to use them, help you decide which ones you want to use. So let's open up this chest real quick and go through some of the weapons. We have the spear, halberd, knife, battle axe, Warhammer, Flail, Javelin, Throwable Dynamite, musket with bayonet, Crossbow, Blowgun, Blunderbuss, fire rod, and cannon, and their assorted ammos down here on the bottom. Okay, in the next 2 episodes, I'm going to show you all the crafting recipes for this, and we're going to give you all the damage. This episode will be more for you guys looking for just a general overview, and the next 2 episodes are going to go really in depth for those who really want the details. And just so don't forget, that training dummy you just saw on your screen, you can craft that as well and just hit it with it. It doesn't really do anything, but use the weapons to test them out on it. Just put that cloth on top, then wheat, leather tunic, wheat, and then on the bottom in the middle, put a stick. To start us off, we're going to be looking at the spear. Now, the major negative I see with the spear is that it's not stackable. So for me, that's pretty annoying because I always have a lot of stuff in my inventory. A few good things, though, is that you can re-pick it up after you hit someone with it. It also does the same damage, whether you stab someone with it or throw it. But as you can see, the range isn't very significant, and the knockback, mediocre. It's a fun one to use because I love throwing weapons. It's just more exciting, and it's great they can pick them up. They don't disappear. It's a fun weapon, but definitely not one of my favorites. The halberd's the next one on our list, and I don't know why. I really enjoy weapons that sort of give you different options. It looks different. You know, you have the stabbing or you have the slashing, and as you can see, there's some major differences. The stabbing does a little bit more damage, but has less knockback, while the slashing, on the other hand, does more damage than the sword, not more than stabbing, but has a pretty big knockback. So knockback can be a good advantage, and I just love how it looks. I mean, doesn't it remind you of like a Knight of England or something? I'm sure anyone from England would be like, our knights never use that kind of stuff. I don't know. That's what it reminds me of, and I really enjoy it. And the knockback is nice. I think when you're getting a fight, you really want the good knockback. Moving right along, we have the knife. Now the knife doesn't do as much damage as a sword, and it only has half the durability, but there's some really good things about it. With a knife, you don't need a crafting bench to craft it because it only requires 2 spots. Also, you can throw it, and like the spear earlier, you can pick it back up. No clue why I only brought 1 knife to this fight here, but that's what I did. So you can throw it, or you can stab with it. It's doing the same damage. You don't need to worry about that. It also breaks cobwebs really easy, which that can be a really big benefit as well. Next up is the chart-topping battle axe. Oh, I don't know why. Whenever I wield this weapon, I feel like I'm back in my childhood playing the game Lost Vikings. Please tell me that was a game in your childhood because it was simply amazing. Anyway, this weapon does a lot of damage and it has a huge knockback. And you also have the benefit that you can block with it. You'll see that in just a minute. Blocking is nice though because it's going to take away 50% of the incoming damage. And come on, who doesn't want to wield a huge battle axe? Another big weapon that's pretty fun to use is the Warhammer. And look at this. Super ground smash! I don't know what to call it. Big weapons just help us hide our insecurities, am I right? So this one actually does the same damage and knockback as the halberd, which we already looked at. The benefit here is you can hold right click and do that super ground smash or whatever you want to call it, which does huge damage to a large area. It also will knock paintings off the wall, and it can destroy these spawners if I did it too close. It does have a cooldown though, so you'll see me do it again, but that means I had to wait all this time before I could do it again, which can be sort of annoying. And also, if someone's trying to block you, it still does huge damage. Here we go, here's the next one. But it does huge damage to block, so if you're fighting other people, it's pretty good. But, oh man, that one's just so fun in itself. And now the next one we're looking at here is the Flail. And though I don't like it as much as the Warhammer Battle Axe, it is a lot of fun, and it's got a pretty good range, which I really like, so I don't have to get close to enemies. Now you saw at first it's hooked. You want to right click once to get it off the hook, because if you throw it from the locked position, it doesn't do as much damage. But here, showing you the range, you can swing this pretty quick, get a really good range, and if you drag it around and just run into people, just dragging around, it's still going to do damage. So it's a lot of fun, and you can keep the enemies at bay, which I enjoy. And now we're going to be looking at the Javelin. Nice thing here is they are stackable up to 16, as you can see. But a negative here is you cannot pick them back up after you throw them, just like arrows. So they are pretty well balanced next to arrows, I believe. Just so you know, you're holding right click here to get that good aim, or you can just left click to stab them with it. Compared to arrows, they do more damage, but they don't go as far, and they're not as accurate. They sort of have a wider deviation. Getting pretty lucky with these shots, but hey, I'm just that skilled. So you don't need feathers, and you don't need a bow to shoot them. That's also nice. And if you want to try to get some critical hits with them, when you're falling down, throw it, or when aiming up, you're going to get critical hits. Both pretty nice options. And now we're looking at our Throwable Dynamite, which is pretty cool. So what you're going to do here is right click it to light it. If you don't throw it with the right click again, it'll just extinguish, it'll go out. So you can decide if you want to throw it or not. You can hold it for a little bit and then throw it. You see I'm waiting different time. You can also throw these really quick back to back to back. They stack up to 64, which is really nice. And they do about half the power of TNT if you wanted to compare there. Not too much else to say about them. They're just showing you how much damage you can do. Now we're moving on to our guns. I don't know, call me old fashioned, but I just prefer to get up close and bludgeon an enemy to death using the battle axe and things like that. I guess that's not really bludgeon, but anyway, here I'm just showing you how to shoot. Lucky for me in my style of play, the musket does come with a bayonet, or you can attach a bayonet, so you can still stab the enemies. Just left clicking, that's going to do the stab. So what you have to do here though is take into account there's a lot of different components to build. And you have to assemble all those, and there's reload time. So for this one, you're going to have to make the stock, the barrel, connect them, add the knife to make a bayonet, make the rounds, put all that together. It's going to give you a lot of damage, which is really nice. And it's got a pretty nice range. I'll talk about that in part 2 and part 3 of the videos, so make sure you're staying tuned for those. So what you're going to do is hold right click until it clicks. Sometimes you actually have to let on the musket for me anyway, let it click twice. Get that really long reload. 2 seconds is about all it takes really. Then hold right click here to increase aim, accuracy, and damage. Up next is the crossbow. Now the crossbow pretty much outclasses the bow and arrow in almost every category other than what you just saw. And that again is a reload time. It's about 2 seconds. You're going to have to reload between every single shot. But it's going to shoot farther, more accurate, and do more damage than the regular bow and arrow. Now to reload it, just as we said before, you're going to hold right click. Didn't mean to open that chest, I was trying to reload. Hold right click, pull it back, and once it reload, release right click, hold right click again to do what I was just doing there, and that's hone the accuracy. It's going to do a little more damage and be a little more accurate for you. Now we're looking at the blowgun next, and the blowgun comes with poisonous darts. So you have to craft the gun and the darts again, same thing with the crossbow. Don't know if I said that before. Now the thing here, if you're a really big fan of like stealth mode or something in RPGs or other games you've played, this is pretty nice because it has a really long range, so you can shoot from afar. It does have some drops, so you might need to aim up a little bit, but it's going to poison your target. If you're attacking mobs, it's not going to kill them, but it'll usually bring them down to about half a heart. So it's not bad to bring a little knife or something with you that you can throw, finish off the enemies when they get really low. The weapon is very fast and accurate, has a short reload time, and if your dart doesn't hit a target, you can still run over and pick it back up. Those are nice options to have. Now we're moving into the Blunderbuss. And you know, in first-person shooters, I am a huge fan of the shotgun. Not that big of a fan of a Blunderbuss. I don't know, it's just not my style. What it's going to do is, it works like a shotgun. It is a shotgun. It's an old-fashioned shotgun. And that was just me showing you the shot. It's like the musket, but it reloads quicker. And when it shoots, it actually shoots 10 projectiles. And it has a nice spread, so you can deal damage to a whole surrounding area. Remember, right-click to reload, right-click to hold and aim, just as we're doing here. You see that already. So if you get really close, more of those 10 projectiles are going to hit the same target. If you're farther out, the projectiles are going to spread and do more damage. This also has some through power, meaning if there's like 5 zombies or 5 PvP players lined up, it can deal damage to about 5 of them if they're pretty close to each other. Wind it up now, we're moving to the fire rod. Oh, the fire rod. Not much to really say about it. It's not stackable and it only has one use. So you see it come up, you just left click a target with it. Come on, click him, click him. I think I'll try and right click. There we go. Sets them on fire, and they take fire damage. Works for PvP as well. The cool thing about it, I guess, is if you're doing it with the mobs that drop meat, it'll cook the meat for you. So let's say I'm really hungry. I would like some steak. Well, go find yourself a cow. Hit him with the fire rod. You are going to lose that fire rod. One-time use, as I said. But when he dies, you're going to get some cooked meat for you. Pretty nice, huh? And last, but definitely not least, is the cannon. Oh my gosh, I know I said I like to shoot people up, get up close and personal and stab people, but screw that. This thing is the best. I love it. It is so much fun. Not so easy to use, so pay attention here. It can get a little confusing. You gotta craft the cannon and the cannonballs, and you have to have gunpowder in your inventory. No one really tells you that, but you need to have gunpowder in your inventory to use it. So you place the cannon, you have it out, you right click on the ground, any flat surface it's going to stay on. Then you can get cannonballs in your hand, you aim at the cannon, right click. That's going to load it as long as you have gunpowder. Give it a second, it loads, and then you can do what I'm doing now. Shoot. How you fire this thing is whatever your jump button is. For most of us, that should be the space bar, but if you've changed it, you hit whatever your other jump button is. It does more damage than a ghast, it has a better range, and it is just awesome. You can spin 360 degrees around, full range, a lot of fun. I love using it, and hopefully you will too. It's just a great addition to any armory. And that wraps up part 1. I really had a ton of fun using these weapons. I had a ton of fun shooting this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you stick around to watch part 2 and part 3 to give you all the crafting recipes and the damage statistics, which I've tested pretty vigorously. Also, if you're a fan of Minecraft, don't be scared to check out some of my other videos. Though Minecraft isn't the only game I play, I do enjoy it, and I'll live stream it a lot at some of these links. So you can check out my Twitch, watch the live streams, follow me on Twitch, Twitter, or Facebook to get notifications, check me out on Steam, or you can actually play on my public Minecraft server. Looking for the IP, it's in the description for you. Happy gaming, everyone.